Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, bringing you news that's going to keep you informed, engaged, and reacting in the most optimal way for your business, investment, entrepreneurial activity. Today is the 31st of July. Let's talk about it. 2 news stories. I'm going to jump right into them. EDH is sick and tired of folks not paying what they owe. Sick and tired of it. They said that's it. They ain't having it no more, right? They have 10% of the residential customers who are actually paying. That amounts to about $160,000, right? Over 16 million, right? So they've only collected 106,000 of 16 million that has been owed USD, right? That's a problem. that is a problem in terms of there's nothing that can function properly in that regard. When you're talking about such a massive gap between what is owed and what is collected. And one of the first things you hear, of course, we say c'est normal, the state isn't giving jobs, the state isn't providing the necessary environment for people to be able to pay. No, yes and no, because I can tell you from someone who's very familiar with Haiti and here and seeing things, even the most malheureux person, the most destitute person, they find a way to get water, right? And most times they are having to pay for water. Communettes, if you're not walking a very long distance, and this is out in the provinces, but in the city, folks are finding a way to pay for communettes of water to come, right, to their homes and our area, our community, and that's how they get their water. When it comes to actually calling people, they have to pay Digicel their minutes to get minutes. They have to pay NatCom for their minutes, right? So that's a cell phone utility there, right? But when it comes to electricity, there seems to be an acceptance, particularly from I hear this most from the diaspora, really, saying, oh, well, they don't provide jobs. Of course, it's normal. They're not going to pay. Nah, but again, for everything else, Haitians find a way to pay. But electricity, which is so important, there is an open acceptance to not paying what should be paid for, right? Which is very bizarre because those out in diaspora, when you move out there, it's very clear. You pay your bill, otherwise you won't have that service, right? And business customers in particular, you can say, okay, we're residential folks. Okay, well, yeah, obviously, don't have jobs, you can't pay. But business customers are actually much worse, right? Out of $215 million owed, $215 million owed to EDH, and this is cumulatively over 10 years, only 64 million has been collected. 64 million has been collected, right? So these are businesses, this is where the money comes from, and they're not paying, right? So the EDH has announced that they're going to start taking measures to have these individuals and these companies to start paying what they owe. They're going to start publishing names on their website, those folks who are most egregious, who have gone many months to many years, who haven't paid. They're going to start publishing names to hopefully put some social pressure on folks to start paying their bill. And additionally, they do have the legal and constitutional right to take folks to court, which is normal as any other country, and get them to pay through legal means, right, through court means, right, injunctions and things of that sort, right. And so we're gonna expect to see those sort of things starting to ramp up, especially as EDH and the state have been making progress in improving the electricity infrastructure. And of course, Jovenel still has big ambitions to improve the overall electrical condition of the country. But to provide that, the repayment rates for energy used by all sectors of the economy have to improve, right? I'd love to hear your opinion on that. I'm sure there's a lot of folks who think differently, right, of that particular opinion. So do leave your comments below. And again, from the Insight business perspective, I can tell you I pay my EDH bill. every month, because it's the right thing to do. Could I go a few months and not pay? Perhaps, because because you have to actually go to EDH. You actually have to go and get the bill. They don't mail it to you. A lot of times when you go, their network is down, and so they can't even give it to you. So certainly, and I've said this before, there's certain things EDH can do to make repayment easier. They don't accept credit cards, for example. That's a problem, right? You can only pay cash. And that's why I've expressed that before. EDH doesn't make it easy to pay them, right? Though I heard recent news that they're going to try to integrate with OneCash so you can pay through your Digicel, but I haven't heard much progress on that. So certainly there are some things they can do, but I certainly try to pay. And there's certainly the big criticism I can get from as a business owner is that, again, the energy isn't consistent. And I often, I have to invest in solar panels. I have to invest in Delco, right? So I can certainly, there's a certain part of me that resents having to pay them anything because what they provide is so little, it's so infrequent, right? And even in some points, the electricity they provide, when they're providing it, it spikes in voltage and it can cause damage to your equipment. That's why everything I have here at the office has surge protectors, right? Because even the energy when they're provided is very inconsistent. It's something you need to keep in mind too. So I get it. I get the grief, right? And I get all the precautions you have to do. But nonetheless, there is no way any electricity environment can improve without folks taking the responsibility to do the right thing and pay. And of course, the final recommendation I can say for EDH is probably the state to probably work on deregulated even EDH and to see if you can get 2 or 3 actors in there to foster competition. Because I tell you, if the electricity collection and generation was strictly private, right, there would be a guarantee that a private company would make it as easy as possible to make folks pay and provide as many means and options available so they can receive their revenue for that month, right? And because, again, EDH is partly and almost largely subsidized by the state, that incentive isn't there, right? So again, love to hear your comments below. Today in Awesome, I am linking to Pat Pelzi. I'm sure I'm butchering the name. So Pat Pelzi, he has this, this video came out in 2017. But still, I say it's probably one of the best videos out there when it comes to showing, so many different facets of Haiti, from the north to the south. And they have a lot of major stars who are talking about it. We have Princess Ud, excuse me, and we have also former Miss America on there as well. We have a lot of different local artists and local stars who provide their songs or just their image to speak about Haiti's beauty. And again, a lot of really cool locations that I hope someday I can personally go and take you guys on a Seejeanty location to show you. But in the meantime, do check out Pat Pelz's video and share it. And share it. Leave a comment over there. Show that some love. He has a crap load of views. It'll be a drop in a bucket. But still, go check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. All right, link is below. The next story, I guess the second story we're going to be talking about today is progress. It's an update on a story we've covered before, which is the landfill situation in the north. Remember, we've talked about a landfill that's coming up for construction. It's a 33 million USD project, over 19 hectares. It's being funded by the World Bank, IDB, the French Development Agency, and it's going to service 3 communes: Lemonade, Guatemala, and Cap-Haïtien. And it's much needed. It's much needed because trash is a major problem throughout the country, and especially in those communes. There hasn't really been a place for modern landfill available to them. This is going to be it. And so the update is that it was being blocked. It was being blocked by one man, Leslie Nazon, who was saying a large part of that land belonged to him. He had done an appeal, and the appeal was caused the construction to stop, even though it had started. But the appeal has been revoked, and the state and the municipality has taken over that land, and construction has continued. Finally, right? It's certainly, when it comes to land rights in Haiti, there's a lot of, question marks, right? I think if you follow the story before, the state had done inquiries on who owned what lands, and compensation had went out prior to a lot of the folks who had claims, but Leslie Nazon never provided a claim prior. It wasn't until construction came after. He showed up and said, "Hey, this is my land." Again, this is something that's very common with land rights in Haiti. That's why I have an episode actually with attorney Giovanna Menard where we talk about land rights in two parts, just general how the land right situation works in Haiti. But the second part, which was dealing with when somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, this is my land," after you just bought some land, how to do recourse. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's in our Un New Palais series on Seejeanty on our YouTube. Just check out that playlist. And so this is similarly what happened for this project, but it's moving forward for better or for worse. Again, the full details are not available to me because it's sometimes has occurred that land that indeed belongs to someone just gets usurped because someone has not. That's why one of the first things you want to do when you buy land in Haiti, you want to quickly build a wall around that land, just to let folks know, hey, this land has an owner, right? And so it's a lot of times when land isn't necessarily clearly marked and delineated, that happens. So again, I'm not sure if that's happening with Mr. Nazon or not, but in any case, from public records, we understand that the land compensation was provided to known landowners. Nazon came very late in the game, said it was his, and ultimately put a blockade and was very belligerent in allowing that very necessary project to continue. And now it's fine. It's moving forward, right? So we'll see if the saga has continuity. I certainly want to. The next update I want to provide to the story is telling you guys that the landfill is complete and it's in service and is accepting trash from those three communes, right? That's the update I want to give, but we'll see if that is the case. From a business insight perspective, again, it's very positive news for that area, very positive news for the North, because it's very much needed from an image perspective, and not only, and a lot of times, the rates of trash, the rates that's charged to you to collect trash, it's very high. I can tell you in Port-au-Prince, for weekly collection, over the month, it can run you anywhere from $60 to $80 US, right? And that's pretty high. That's pretty high for trash collection. So hopefully with more facilities that are available, we can start seeing those rates decrease to something that's a little more reasonable, because I know in the States, trash collection usually runs from $30 to $40 US, depending where you live in the country. So that's the rates we'd like to see available here, all right? Love to hear your opinion on that too. There was Leslie Nazon in the right. Do you have some more information I don't know about that might justify his adherence to not wanting stuff built on what he's saying is his land? Love to hear your take on it, right? And as always, we're here Monday through Friday providing you business news, economic news, news that has an effect on your potential activities to do business in the country or even visit, right? We do analysis and we provide you tips and tricks to use that information in a best positive light, or just provide anecdotal information on how the particular story has affected my businesses, right? So you can then use and learn from. So again, we're here Monday through Friday doing this. Leave a comment, hit that notification, hit that subscription. Oh, I should have opened up with this. Whitney Lubin, want to give you a hats off. She provided a Square Cash donation. It doesn't matter how much it is, right? She provided it, so hats off to you. Let me get some fireworks. Right there. Appreciate it, Whitney, right? And of course, if you guys want to take your appreciation of what we're doing here to the next level, we got a Patreon over here, we got a Square Cash somewhere over there. So go ahead, we'll give you a shout out afterwards for sure, right? All right, guys, that's it for today. Until we're back at it again, we'll be back at it again.